So, I have decided to go through and rate and review my old persona designs. And they're not really that different from each other, just different outfits and hairstyles. But I thought it'd be cool to review the history of them and how I was at the time. And it would just show how far I've come and show my evolution in both art and design. So let's go! This was Marie's very first official design as a persona. Marie was the name of a character I based on myself, and this is what she looked like, but it was never intended to be a persona, more so a self-insert. Anyway, this kind of shows my art style at the time, both art and clothes minus the skirt. I made them when I was 11, almost 12 years old. I saw others had a sona and wanted one of my own, which is why they were made. They originally weren't going to have hair over their eye, but I couldn't figure out how to draw the other eye, so I put hair over her eye and called it a day. And obviously, it stuck. And to this day, I have still never drawn Marie's other eye while open. Back then, my line art was a disaster and I had no idea how to shade. It's fun to look back on, but sadly I didn't draw Marie all that much back then, so these are the only pictures of her back then that I could find. Drawing style, I'd rate a 2 out of 10. It was very messy and bad, but definitely not the worst. Design-wise, I'd give it a 4 out of 10. It does look like Marie if they were 11, even though they was intended to be 16 when I made Ver. The name of Marie came from my middle name, because I was very lazy with names, and surprisingly, it's stuck all the way till now. Marie's second design was sort of similar. They shared a lot of elements with the first design, but it was made to fit how I dressed in real life. Both the shirt from this design along with the previous design were actual shirts I owned and wore frequently. Marie's hair was like that until this May drawing I did, and then the classic flips were put into the design and they were now looked like this. It's hard to read, but the shirt says sometimes you just need $1 billion. I believe this was around when I was 12. Art style wise, I'd give it a 4 out of 10. Better everything, but everything was still really whack. Design-wise, a good 6 out of 10 represented me at the time a lot better, but the way that the hair flips looked over Marie's eye was really weird looking. The hair color was kind of weird. Much preferred the straight orange. The third design, Marie started wearing an Eat Sleep anime shirt I also had IRL. This was later changed to a plain blue shirt with the Eat Sleep anime stuff being erased. They were also wearing gray leggings since I really liked leggings at the time. This was definitely when I was 12, right after I had first joined Wattpad. Their hair was finally being drawn as orange, and the flips were drastically improved, and it developed the classic shape of Marie's hair. This design stuck for a while. Art style-wise, I'd give it a good 6 out of 10, anatomy was still kinda whack, but it was getting a lot better. Design-wise, I'd give it a 7 out of 10, much more fitting to the me IRL, but it was simple and easy. And here's Marie's fourth design. While it kept the blue shirt, Marie started wearing a purple jacket over it. This was because, in real life, I was frequently wearing a purple jacket to school every day. The pants changed from tights to shorts, and that stuck for a couple years with the design. The jacket inspired the purple hoodie that we'll see later on. I was definitely 13 at the time. Art style stayed kind of the same, so I'd give it another 6 out of 10, and the design pretty much had the same vibe it did at the time, so another 7 out of 10. Design 5 switched back to the blue shirt, but now it had a Lenny face on it. The direction of the eyes always changed because I forgot which way they went. This stuck. Made it when I was 13 and continued when I was 14. Art style, I'd give it a 7 out of 10. Anatomy and shading were getting better, but it still needed a lot of work. Design-wise, I'd give it another 7 out of 10. This was the era where I drew my persona with clothes I didn't have, but I thought would fit. Design 6 switched back to the purple jacket for a while. It was kind of a seasonal thing. If I was wearing a jacket IRL, I'd draw my persona with it. If I wasn't, I wouldn't. I probably shouldn't even call this Design 6, but if we're going linearly, this makes sense to do so. Art style gets a 7 out of 10 for the first two, but the last one I really like, so I give it an 8.5 out of 10. Design rating stays the same as Design 4 since they're the same design. Ah yes, Design 7, the purple hoodie era. Went to this era when I was 14 and it stuck for over a year. I liked the look of it. It felt very me at the time, and while I was slowly drifting away from the casual, no-effort look into a look that made me happy to be in, this design stuck. Design 7.5 was when I was 15, after I found out I was non-binary and started wearing a binder. My chest began to give me dysphoria, so I removed it from my persona's design as well. Art style-wise, I'd give it a 7 out of 10. The anatomy was pretty good, and the shading is epic, yet a little common. Design-wise, I'd probably give it an 8 out of 10. It was pretty classic. I'd say Marie's most notable and recognizable design since it stuck the longest. However, later on, it didn't really represent me and who I was and how I dressed. One of my friends said it looked like something a middle schooler would wear, and I realized how right he was, and so I decided to redesign Marie to be more accurate to who I was now, which leads us to Design 8. The current design of Marie. The clothes are based on clothes I have once again, except the shirt is more simple than what it's based on. I had gotten a haircut since I had very long hair my entire life up until now. So long, in fact, that the later designs of Marie actually had shorter hair than what I did. And I'm so much happier with this version of Marie. It feels more like me. Marie could be put in any outfit, and that was true for all designs, but now people could see what I really dress like. Art style, I'd give a 10 out of 10. I'm very happy with it. And while it doesn't show here, the way I shade now feels so much more unique, and my anatomy feels much better as well. I'm aware I still need to improve, but the rating isn't just based on how good it is, it's also based on how much I like it. Design-wise, another 10 out of 10. Predictable, I know, but I'm very happy with it. It looks so much different from the other designs, and it feels more like me. It makes Marie look older, and like Vey grew up with me, because Vey have. And that's all the persona designs I can find. I hope you enjoyed this video and found it interesting to see my growth. Summer is in less than a week, and after that I could post more videos. I just need ideas. But besides that, I'll see you later, and I hope that you have a good day.